All right, we're back here on our Book Thursday. Book Thursday, we'll give a couple books away, get right to it, and do several of these today, and then get into your favorite markets. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, absolutely. What's up, NH, Robert, Scotty, BTC, Sniper, Swooping Hawk, David? You guys are great. Yes, we are doing Las Vegas. Las Vegas with Mitch Ray, myself, doing a live stream in front of a live audience. Should be a lot of fun. Hope everyone can make it. Listen, the cutoff date is pretty much beyond us, but if you still want to go, you have to let Miss Stephanie know in the Discord. And hey, Miss Stephanie, I missed you this morning. I just had too much going on here, so I'll have to get back to you after the session. But folks, what are we going to do? Seems like there's a fear that has gripped the nation about the markets and the coming second leg of the bear market. And, I hear the narrative is quite strong. Some of the internal metrics are not, but we have to follow what the patterns are telling us. Real quick, everybody, get with your basic membership. Register now. Go to harmonictrader.com. That's where it all begins for you, especially new folks. And again, I have to outline free trial. Everyone should be on HPC at TradingView. That program, I think everyone needs it. 14-day free trial. Send your username to hpc at sr-analyst.com and they'll set you up. We're not taking any more second trials. It just got abused. I'm sorry, but it did. But if you want to try the other ones, they're available to everyone. So absolutely. Let's get into it. Oh, here, just look at the webinars and Discord link. If you want to get into the Discord, all the information's on the basic members page. Click that link and you'll get in. And you'll see Miss Stephanie in there. So what's going on? A quick note about have to really outline something that I wasn't fully aware of, that I think maybe it was a setting issue, that not everyone got the shark that I was outlining on Twitter. And I think I either had a setting or, I expanded my bars. Here's the pattern, and I'm still looking into that. But we went into a type 1, type 2. This is from a few days ago, but we did that crazy move up to target 1 and then back down. And we hit the hop at 1831. That's what's going on right now. As we did so, okay, so we actually got a larger bat pattern on this retest. And this is clear type 1 action. Look at that check back dynamic, folks. I mean, that is something. That is just really, really something where there's the signal for the bat pattern. XA is 1832. Look at the check back. I mean, come on. This is why I want everybody with the program, because we have HSI and you have the automatic algorithms that are generating all of this. And so it's the only way you're going to get the levels and signals that we have. So by all means, even though this is looking positive and constructive as like a short-term trade, target 1 should get us up to about 1900, 1898. I'm pretty confident with that. Larger time frames we need to look at. Some of those total indices we looked at last time are rolling over a little bit, but it's a type 1 reaction, and that's okay. I'm not nearly as concerned on these markets. I think we need time in either direction. If you're super bearish, you need time. If you're super bullish or mildly bullish, you still need time. This is reaction phase. That's what it do. We get quick moves, we get consolidation, pauses, and then we see if we go again. Some of the other ones that have sold off have actually given us some important structures on your 4-hour charts that are significant opportunities. I don't want to ignore or dismiss this. Keep an eye on it. That's Ethereum. That's what we're looking at for right now. I mean, look, your support here at 30 for now. Take that into tonight or tomorrow. It's only an hourly chart. And either way, if it was a type 2 shark, off the hop, we might go as high as 1950. Go back to that really quick. Just go to that post again to show everyone. It's there it is. Hop actually target 2 on that shark is back to 2012. Let's see. Let's see. I'll get to the bottom of why that wasn't generating. It might have also been an old program that I had on there. Regardless, Ethereum still building, still trying to do things. Not a problem. 4-hour time frame. Look, your 4-hour time frame did something interesting where we got an oversold reading and successful test holding above the prior low. That just reinforces everything going on here. Your 4-hour, your 1-hour time frame, that has to be your pivot point. Can we make another run to 2000? Let's see. All depends on how this shapes up over the next 2 days. Here's your weekly. Let me get Coinbase on here, please. Coinbase, come on. There's Coinbase. So here, check this out. Let me remove that. There you go. We're still in a week over week, and we are kind of floating here on an inside bar. Not so bad. I think if this was going to be worse, we would be flirting down with prior week's open somewhere around 17 and a quarter, 17.25. But let's see. Interesting to note also that we have HSI trying to do an inflection, but still overbought. Until that comes out, we don't worry about it. Maybe 2 days from now, the situation will change. But, you know, so far, we're still kind of vacillating here. Also, Bitcoin doesn't really... Look, Bitcoin is just not lighting up the scene here. I mean, it's just a really mild reaction on your weekly chart. But remember what I said about higher highs and higher lows. When you're going up, it's actually more important to have higher lows. And so as long as last week's prior low can hold 22,300, 2,200, you're still on a trend line like that. I mean, this is, of course, you want to close above 24 or something, but give it time. Not too concerned. You do have, check this out, you are sitting here trying to register an overbought HSI on the weekly. That would need to dump by Sunday. That would need to dump by Sunday, and, you know, so far so good. It's not really, here's what we had on up at the top. A couple of these levels. You had a butterfly up here, and another shark, but we're in a 1-2. If we were to go off this butterfly, here's something to note, and this helps us to kind of really firm up trailing support. Remember what I was saying, generally, we don't want to take out 22.3. We don't want to take out even that type 2 shark, that type 2 level on the shark. Notice, if it was just a butterfly, off of this prior peak, we're already running into a situation where it's kind of a dud. You're more than 30 bars to the right. There's 30 bars was incredibly there. All the way back on the 3rd, we are now bar 130, 125. So I'm watching that. Also, what's your last HSI? It's a great question to ask yourself always when you're coming into a chart, because we want to see confirmation. We don't have confirmation up here off of that little shark. And so still just reaction. If anything, on your 4-hour time frame, we almost registered another oversold. Amplified did, so I'm watching here. You know, I don't, it's not fireworks, and I don't think this whole corrective phase that we've seen has been led by Bitcoin. It's really been dominated by Ethereum and a few other T coins. So absolutely. So that's what we want to look at. I mean, I'm believe me, it's not. Everybody wants the moon phase. Everybody wants to see things explode, but we're still dealing with this large deep crab on Bitcoin that it was, 23.3 is a huge number. That's the 1618 off the deep crab. And confirmation was down here at 1718. So still reaction. We're still reactive phase, and that could go on for a few months where you get a lot of gyrations against that trend line. Talk to me in 3 days if we break the trend line and then do something like that. You would have to be a little more concerned. But take a look at what's happening on the daily. HSI is almost oversold again. That's important. Don't want to sleep on that. We could pop another HSI, and that would set off a continuation off of a lot of these ugly zones. Keep an eye on that. Now, nothing's changed. We're still in a type 1 framework, whether it takes months or weeks, and target 1 is substantially higher. I don't even want to say the number, but keep an eye on it. Here's another big one, Binance Coin. Now here we get into those coins that have small patterns that did trigger a couple days ago, HSI, where we're in a reactive phase, and we'll get into those total indices. They're doing the same thing, but this is just type 1 reaction move. Could that come lower? Of course. Off of the bat. The bat inside of the small bearish bat inside the larger bullish zone, alternate bat zone, tells us it's going to take more time before it gets to target 1. But the anticipation doesn't change for reaction down to target 1 and then explode back up, or at least get back to the hop. That's probably, let's be conservative, because we could go dead here for a few weeks as we consolidate. But look at HSI. HSI is already oversold. So I like to think of it this way. When HSI does such a move and price has not moved too much, you're letting a lot of air out of the tires for a very small amount of price. And we'll see. That's got to pivot. Has to pivot like last time. And remember last time, I mean, we're already all the way back down to where we were in June. And then we triggered, registered. This could set up for some kind of continuation. That's another one. I mean, there's a couple of key major crypto that we need to follow closely. Here's another one. Solana. Remember what I said about this thing being slammed between basically 44 and 40 and just grinding higher? I don't think this situation has changed much either. You're just on the bottom end of that uptrend, that little primary uptrend. Here is the bigger pattern. Okay, big bat pattern. Looks like that. Here's the thing, and something to be mindful about when HSI comes. When we get to the right, we are to the right of the downtrend. We might see our first HSI trigger, or we will. Look, we're coming down on Solana, Binance feed. If we can trigger an HSI to the right of that downtrend, that would probably be the most important HSI signal since the top. And I mean, even tighten it up. Let me tighten it up. It's like that. This is the point to the right of that downtrend where the potential for a larger opportunity sits. I would rather be to the right of that downtrend instead of having to pay for real estate. Because when you're down here and you still have to deal with this, your downtrend, the chances of everyone seeing that downtrend line and at least running into some pausing behavior is not, it's typical. It's typical stuff. But this next test, I think across the board, I'm actually a little more opportunistic on this. Let me go to one or two more. Here's on the 4 hour. Here's Mana registered. We know the deal on the long term on this weekly, which is, come on, Mana. Where's the Coinbase? Binance, Coinbase. What was the Mana was a daily. I think Sandbox was the Oh, come on. I'll have to come back to that. I know Mana had a pattern. It has something on the 4-hour right now. Where are you? Sorry. Maybe I mixed this up. Maybe it is. Oh, it's an hourly deep crab on Mana. Okay, not a huge move, not a huge range, but you're printing patterns. You are printing patterns here where, all right, maybe in pause. 96 seems to be the major support level coming off of this 110. Give it time. I mean, I just give this tough time. Hold on. All right. This is much like, let's go to Sandbox. Sandbox, same deal. I think this is the 4-hour structure. Shark pattern on Sandbox. Down to 116 for the shark retest. Again, we're not doing much. It's not fireworks, but you're still in a type 1. Come back down, type 2 framework, 112. That's how I'm looking at a lot of these. Really quick, I know people are interested in Doge and SHIB. I'm just going to look at Doge because there's a beautiful pattern there. And again, stick with the patterns. Daily time frame, or was it 4-hour? Well, here's the daily, something I just picked up where it was an ABCD at the low. I think I said this last time, 6.7 cents is what I want to trigger for. We have a 4-hour deep crab. Maybe that's a type 1 at 7.9. And then you go back for the type 2. I'm watching that closely. Still not there yet. What I want to see on the weekly for Doge was, I'm sorry to have to drag this garbage out on the daily. On Binance, that's okay. Looking for a retest. That ABCD, wouldn't be surprised to see this stuff come back as it grinds at these lows. It's very ugly, but ABCD is around 7 cents, 7.13, and that 7-cent level is something we've talked about for a long time. If anything, Doge also has a rather crazy deep crab. This crab, or simple crab, regular crab, it completed there. Kind of tough to see. Goes to target 1 at 20 cents, then came all the way back down. Our friend VJ called that out months ago. Even when we were at 20 cents, he's saying it doesn't have to come back to 7, 8.5. It did, and then it registered down here at around 5 quite early. I'm not worried about this. We're going to get another opportunity. If you were looking for a trade currently on that, well, yeah, the 4-hour time frame. Go off the 4-hour. We'd want to see this thing do the return pretty much today off of that 7.8 cent move and go back to 9. Watch it here. Watch it here, because these return trades are tricky. They're tricky. But we still have to go through the 1-2. Even if you were super bearish on Doge, I would rather see that opportunity up here at the hop. Meanwhile, 1 or 2 more, and then I'm going to get into the other traditional markets. Take a look at this. You know, Chili's never say die, right? Chili's has just been a monster. It's almost at its target too. This has probably been one of the best T-coin moves we've seen, but now it's trying to register an HSI off of that crab pattern. That's at 23.52 cents. You're just shy of it. Let's see how it shapes up, because it's trying to come out today. That's potentially the end of the reaction. We'll know by tomorrow. Probably by Monday for sure. By Monday for sure, but keep an eye on it, because it could do something like this. I mean, this is where we get into these type 2 returns. Let's say that's reactions over off of the deep crab. Then maybe we come back on a retest and then go later this year. I mean, this is starting to kind of develop. let me show really quick those total indices, because total 3, total crypto, there's lots of nice patterns. You have some big patterns. There's total crypto market cap with a deep crab, right around 860 billion, 900 billion is a massive number. Critical. Okay? Taking its time to get out. But when we go to these smaller indices like total 3 or total 2, here's one excluding BTC. We have a situation, I said this on Tuesday, we have a bat pattern. It registered a couple days ago. It only started to break down, say, Sunday. But it's only a type 1. This is setting up where if we can come down to target 1 and trigger, that's going to be significant. I mean, it could be a launch pad, quite frankly, based on how the harmonic framework is shaping up. You want to see that thing pivot out the next day or two. If it does, this is going to be more about the big crab than even that butterfly. But we said, look for a little type 1, type 2. I would say if HSI on a bullish candle can generate today and come out of that zone by tomorrow, we will immediately go and test the hop, which is higher. Instead of going to target 1, we will come here and then go up to the hop level and push higher. Total 3, same deal. This pattern's a little bit better. This takes out. Obviously, Ethereum is still holding impressively. It's impressive. And we're pausing, rolling over here, but are we falling apart? Not yet. It's letting a lot of air out of the tire with very little amount of price. It's costing it. Think of it this way. When you get this kind of move, where here's the pattern, but you're already oversold, that then sets you up where you could get a high level HSI. This is what I want to see. I want to see that inflection turn up. Like I said, next 24, 48 hours, critical for this scenario, because this, in my opinion, could, just like the rest of them, you get these back-to-back bearish patterns, or bullish to bearish, you still have to go through the 1, 2. So come off and then go back, retest. And then total DeFi, same thing. Bat pattern, this is closer to its target 1. And also, look, I said this Tuesday, you're oversold. Pretty soon we'll pop out of that zone, maybe in 2 days. We'll come back Monday. Again, we'll be here Monday, and this is going to be very clear. I mean, if it's going to totally fall apart, do a full retest, I'm not there yet. I'm really not there. I'm more inclined to see this thing give you a reaction out of the zone. We're starting to print some interesting pattern, back-to-back pattern dynamics that, if we think about it, could be at least a 4-hour opportunity on a lot of these time frames. Take a look at, where's the other one? I think Zcash was that hourly? Zcash is another 4-hour. Yeah, this is a shark on the 4-hour, trying to roll over. But how many bars? I mean, this is where the harmonic dud comes into play. We're bar 80. Just another one to watch carefully. If we can roll over and go into a type 1 reaction, that would set you up for at least coming back to retest the bigger bat pattern. This one is, sorry, I got to get the right data feed. I know this is a daily something. Ugh, here I go again. I think I changed this data thing. I think I changed my dates on the I did to 4,000. It's usually set to 500 by default. I think that might have been one of the reasons why I was getting some slightly different pattern matches. I'll come back to that. One or two others that I think are starting to pop. Here's the graph. The graph did do the pullback against the larger pattern. We are, there you go. Check this out. Another back-to-back. Little mini deep crab retesting the larger bullish crab. So back-to-back deep crabs, nice harmonic behavior going on. What's the next HSI? That's going to be your trigger. Because that could be, we're already down to target 2. That's about the maximum I expect on this pullback for this deep crab. 11.29. But it all depends on when HSI pops out for the graph. If we can come out, we hold the day, we pop tomorrow. That's the thought. With a return move back up to 16. That's the 1-2 framework. Because we understand the framework, folks, that's how we look at it. And we already consider the larger pattern completed, taking its time. A pattern like that would say, all right, it's going to take more time, but target 1, if we can pop off of there, target 1 is still 26.9. And I'm going to stick to that. I'm going to stick to those type 1 targets because we are still in reaction phase. Be aware of it. One or two more. You guys, somebody wanted to see KNC. I think one of our members did. So here's KNC. Yeah, doing a little pop today. And that one was a shakeout. Look, you go on the hourly time frame. That seemed like it was going to roll over. Look what it's doing. It's a type 2 return off of the butterfly. I think there's a lot to be said for something like this, where you get the type 1 move down to target 2, and then you come back. And I would target 180, 179 and change. Keep an eye on it. I don't know why GBTC is at a 30% discount. Probably a good one to look at. We haven't looked at that in a while, but it looks like this. Ooh. Anybody trading at home, look at that deep crab on a 233 tick. 13,504. Where's HSI? HSI triggered too. Damn, that's a nice one. Beautiful pattern right now, intraday. 04 up to 36 is, let's look for something like that. I'll come back to this in a second because I want to look at this. I want to look at, oh, wait, hold on. I do want to update that GBTC because Bitcoin spot price is not showing us much. Even there, another crab pattern right now at 14 and change, but it's all about the weekly. It's all about this weekly, massive weekly Gartley. We already confirmed 1410 is your big number. Maybe you come back and brush against that, but this has been holding firm, and I don't expect that to change. It's just taking time. The weekly's been ugly. I mean, it's not exploding. It's not mooning. Here's the daily. A little tough to see that, see much in that zone. It's more about the weekly time frame, and that's something I've said a lot. Most of these scenarios do involve weekly time frames as your primary pattern timescale. Not much here. Maybe we come back down for another HSI. That would be, we're looking for HSIs to give us continuation signals as they stair step up. That's the important thing I'm looking at. Here on the bottom, that's relative strength. Are we going to roll over and go back down and retest or pop back up? I think we come back for one more retest. Check back on that HSI somewhere around 1250, 1280, something like that. That would still be within the limits of how we frame that out. Not too concerned. I'm not there. I mean, we're in. I think people are disappointed by Bitcoin's performance. Other than that, we've seen a lot of big movers individually that have led the way. I mean, Chile's obvious, but something like that, when you're talking that it's a pattern that is 15 months in duration, and you're only, oh, let me read that back, and you're only a month, 6 weeks into the start of that whole time frame, we know it's a 30 bar consideration. 30 weeks, and 30 weeks pulls us towards the end of the year. It's like that. Maintain that, go to target one. That's how to think about it. Again, we're still in the zone. We're under the 786 XA level, your most critical level of all of the zones for the Gartley. All right, let's give away a book. First person to put in V3 wins a book. First person to put in V3 wins a book. I want to surprise you guys. Keep you on your toes. V3. You also have to go contact Miss Stephanie in Discord if you win. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Probably the person with the fastest ISP. V3. I'm going to give another book away towards the end. We'll give away 2 today. Probably get down on Bud Thompson. You win. Bud Thompson, you need to go contact Miss Stephanie in the Discord. And that Discord is on Basic Members page. Bud Thompson's our first winner. We'll get one more here in about 10-15 minutes. But go to the Basic Membership page. Click on the Discord link and log in there, folks. And join us there. Log in there. Give that next one away in a little bit. Really quick, let's get to the indices. The big stuff that we need to assess, and it's probably better on the TradingView platform. Everyone is citing 2 things that I see. So first of all, everyone is anticipating a breakdown off of here and like that. And that actually fits into what we were suggesting and saying way back in June, that we were looking for a reactive move. Not a problem. But no confirmation yet. Nothing's overbought. RSI, amplified, HSI still trending higher. This is the SPY weekly. What's the daily look like? And this is important because it's the S&P. All right, we did register yesterday. Check back level on SPY is 429. And it happened yesterday with the close. Also, here's that downtrend. Here's the window of that downtrend. So now we have true make or break, do or die. We could even frame it out. Give us the 3-bar range. The 3-bar range, 425. Okay, on the bottom side, top side is 431. Whatever happens here in the next week very well could dictate the rest of the year. Okay? We'd have to break the downtrend. You'd have to do something like this. And if you did roll over and break down, that would be okay. That would still fit within type 1, type 2. But there's a few days left until that is even confirmed. You're showing signs, but we need a bearish candle, first of all. That's one thing I want to see. One bearish candle. We don't have that yet. We're up here on the daily at 427. Stalling. Okay. Bueller, stalling. Down, lower. 424. Break down under 424. A close under 424. Then you might get into that type 2 return. But here's the thing. You're going to have plenty of time. Plenty of time. I know people are super bearish saying they're shorting up here. Okay? I'd rather see the confirmation first come in. The other one. Let's go to trading, back to the TradingView platform. We have bearish patterns. Absolutely. We have bearish patterns in the Qs. We have a bearish pattern in the SPY on the daily chart. Let me clean this up. Now, some things that I've been thinking about with all of this. Here's the bat pattern. We've talked about that since about a week ago. It completed there. It's a non-confirmation, zero confirmation. We're still riding the trend line. Hop level is 338. Okay. HSI is nowhere to be found. Amplified did roll over. What do we do in these situations? You got to wait till that trend line's violated. And it hasn't. Ideally, we have a shark pattern. What do we know about sharks? Sharks like to go to the 5-0. So you get a formation like this where the shark sets up with the right sequence of opportunities, then goes to a 5-0 level. A lot of people have been talking about, well, if we break above the 50% level, then the bear market's over. That's the bullish case. The bearish case is, yeah, we're at a 50% level. It's going down again. But the thing about this is with the 5-0, we know how to measure this. We utilize this prior segment, this A to B move, and then just project it off the low. That's what we call the reciprocal A, B, C, D. It's like a channel approximation move. You're at the lower range of that ABCD. Your 50 level is slightly higher. I want to see both get hit. I don't want to screw around with that. I want to see both get hit. We are, again, we're 3 days away. If that was to roll over for the next 3 days, okay, then you'd have something. You don't have anything yet. Because if it does roll over here, yeah, it will do the retest from this point, meaning we'll slide back down. Come in off a reaction off of here. Target 1 is 303, which comes and retests the shark. That's okay. But if we can buy time, and I mean tomorrow, Monday, when we're back here Monday, we'll know. We'll have a definitive answer on what this is doing. Still hasn't done a 3-bar breakdown either. One moment. That's 2, okay? That's 2 of the 3 major indices. Finally, Dow Diamonds. That as well, another bearish pattern. Just completed HSI up here. Okay? HSI just completed yesterday. Are we going to break down? And you can make it as tight as 336. Run your aggressive accelerated trend line. We break down the next day or two. Okay. Then you're going to see something. The weekly makes it look pretty simple. Weekly. Let me clean up these lines. And I still say the weekly is probably your best time frame even for the major markets. Everyone is looking at this phenomenon. The breakdown, or even go, if you want to go tight, you prefer to encompass all the peaks. That, hey, we get a reversal bar by tomorrow. Let's say we drop 500 points by tomorrow. Then I would be concerned. Then you'd get one bearish candle. We haven't had one bearish candle yet, and that would be what I would wait for. I don't know if that's going bearish yet. Maybe next week, but until we do so, more time. And weekly, I think, is even more interesting. Note the daily has triggered, but HSI in the weekly is well established in the overbought that it might not happen until next week. It's quite close. Do we get the major bear market continuation here? I've seen a number of charts on Twitter where everyone's saying this is just like 2008. It's mimicking 2008. Not there yet. We're still in reaction phase. And this one, it's not the prettiest of 5-0s, and it's starting to lose its, starting to kind of take it out. But if we were to just trace out the 5-0 like this and come down, there's your, down to your 1618. And then the 5-0 zone, the 50 to the 618 looks like this. There's 50 right there. Could go as high as the 618. 343. Now that is a critical number. Anything above 344 and it blows it out. I would not be surprised to see a pause here. Go sideways for a few weeks. Roll over a little bit. Register that overbought reading. But it's not there yet. And we have not even, like I said, we need one bearish candle on the week. We get a bearish candle on the week. Okay. Then we'll get follow through. I mean, it's kind of like what we had back in April. Maybe not, this April wasn't, or February, March, not as strong. You had a thrust up a couple of weeks, but you formed a bearish pattern, a bearish bar first. And then the larger rollover happened. I mean, you still were 3 weeks before a larger breakdown unfolded. That's what we have here. Sometimes, not sometimes, a lot of times as traders, one of our biggest challenges is being patient with the market. And I don't disagree. We could stack a lot of things up here that say, are we hitting the limit for now? We're close. Show me a bearish candle. Show me some kind of reversal behavior on the daily. Keep an eye on that. Couple more. I think there's been some requests for gold. I'll look at that. Gold on the daily and weekly. Remember the bullish pattern we had? Another hop level off that bat at 07. This is what has transpired in the last couple of weeks. Big move up, but there's a breakdown. There's your HSI counter signal. Bearish HSI in a bullish zone. What does that mean? More time. But take a look. This is something that might be helpful for people on the check back. Where is the first bearish candle? We form it here. We check back, but that's a bullish candle. That's a bullish candle. Finally, third day, you finally get a bearish candle. That's more of the kind of behavior you want to see for that rollover. Look for the individual sign. Now you have a little bit of a breakdown in gold. Where could that go? What's the next HSI? Because trying to find support resistance between 1700, 1707 and 1807 is pretty clear. But like a lot of markets, we are almost oversold again. So maybe we come back into this 17, this prior area, 1720. I have not followed gold too much because it's been a dead market ever since the peak. The weekly butterfly. The weekly butterfly looks like this. Where's my weekly? Was it monthly? Maybe it was monthly. Monthly? Oh, come on. I know that we had something there. Maybe I have it one second. Maybe I have this deselected. Interesting to note, we have this bat pattern. It didn't get up to target 1, but that helps reinforce the 1700 level as major support. Yeah, I forgot. There you go. Let me turn on the bearish patterns. That would help. There you go. Nice back-to-back dynamics. The deep crab, that's what it was at 68, 2068. And we've just fallen straight off. We never even got a type 2 off of that. And no HSI registered on the weekly. HSI's trying to register, but not quite. I expect this to trade between 1800 and 1700 for a while. And I mean like many, many more weeks, maybe 2, 3 more months. But that's the gold deal. I mean, gold's really not much. Here's the other thing. I don't bring this up too frequently, but I think the bond yields, we need to pay attention to what's going on there. Let's go to 10-year and 2-year. 10-year has a bat pattern, folks. Basically hovering just under 3%. HSI is trying to register an oversold reading. Expect this to continue to grind. I would still want to see eventually, but might come at a higher level, this move back down to target 1 at 1.96%. And for me, like a lot of the other bullish patterns and things that are doing this type 2 return, if the yields are going to explode, it's going to be probably after that reaction and then go. And that puts you months from now. So we're still in reaction phase. Rates aren't doing a heck of a lot, but if they cannot get above 292 and the next few days, we come in here Monday or Tuesday of next week, and this fails to rally higher, then this is starting to wear down. Target 1 would still be what we're trying to consider. And then finally, here's the 2-year, which is actually inverted, which is usually not a good sign. That's at 322. But daily time frame, you have this ABCD right at the top. Whereas HSI registered up here at around 3.35. I know most people don't look at the bond yields. Please pay attention. If the 2-year yield starts to let loose and goes to new highs, 350, 360, that's going to be the reason why the market rolls over. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. If this keeps going up, because that's the only thing that's threatening to break out. There you go, 2-year yield. Amazing. That was trading 0.11, not more than 18 months ago. Here's the big stock. Keep your eyes on Apple. Apple. Daily, weekly. It's just massive. The daily. Look at the shark going on up here. Couple of bullish patterns that put a floor at 140, but now we have the shark. Where's HSI? Has not completed. Has not tested up in this zone. Amplified trying to come out on Apple. It would have to do a move like this. So between the bond yields and Apple, there's probably a handful of markets you need to monitor that will dictate whether or not this is going to roll over and do the bear market move like a lot of people say. I know a lot of people freaked out when Michael Berry said he dumped everything. So be it. So be it. That's what he did. And he sold everything. So that kind of, or almost everything, but that kind of unilateral move, people might look at that and say, no. I don't want to be, if he's doing it, I'm gonna pay attention. I'll just dump everything. But I'm not there. I would love to have a very clear, beautiful HSI signal and get overbought. Even on like weekly, look at how strong the weekly is. Weekly has not registered on Amplified yet or HSI. HSI is expanding and you've been straight up. So sure, a lot of people piling in to something they consider a safe haven, tech safe haven. But I'm still monitoring. We need one bearish candle. We need one bearish candle on Apple. Things could change, folks. They could change, but we're not there yet. I said this on Tuesday, the next few weeks are going to define what happens into the rest of the year. But I'm not there yet. It's been a strong reaction on Apple. Coming out of that zone, Apple, You go back to earlier in the year, Apple had this big crab pattern. 175 has been the big pattern that we've been assessing. And now you're back there retesting that hop level. I would need to see an HSI signal. It's not there. We'll know. I think by next week we'll know across the board. Yeah, I think a lot of people are, there's a lot of narrative going on. A lot of really bad narrative too. People citing various market time frames, saying this is exactly like that. I get a little nervous when I see something like that. But when we get our triggers, and they could happen in the next week, then we will go. Why jump the gun? Really not quite there yet to jump the gun to think, okay, all hell's breaking loose just yet. All right, next book, volume 3, V3. Next person to put V3 in. Let's get you a book. Who's going to put V3? First person that does that will win the book, the next book. And while you're doing that, I'm going to pop up one other market here. Let me go to Tony King. You win. Tony King, V3. Tony King, you win, my man. Let's look at the big semis. NVIDIA. All right. A lot of patterns going on here. NVIDIA's big bat pattern. What is it doing? Is it coming out of the zone? It's trying to. You're 186 right now. The thing that is interesting, what's earnings? Earnings are next week, even though they pre-announced. Look, if they wash that whole thing out, this could still do a type 1. Certainly a breakout at above 194, it's gone. So some of the patterns that are going on here imply different conditions. It's not an easy call across the board. You've got, I don't even want to get into any DC talk, but that's a train wreck and a half. But at the same time, you've got things like NVIDIA. You have things like Taiwan Semi. Big, deep crab pattern. Just hitting XA level. This is, for Taiwan Semi and some of these others, they could come down and do a retest of 84.45 as we stabilize. We're still stabilizing before they run for the total type 1 move up to 100. But again, this is where breaking out to the right of the downtrend is real helpful. And then look how this action goes. You break out of that downtrend, and that's since last year, and then slam a few times against this, against the XA at 84.45. Target 1 is at 196. That's a big pattern. And again, a lot of these that have these patterns, okay, a year ago, we would have killed for a deep crab like that on Taiwan Semi. Here's another one, Micron. And I think the semiconductor is probably your most important tech sector. If you're going to get out of this malaise, the chips have to run. And we do have patterns. Like the deep crab here on Micron, we triggered, we checked back. You got out of here, then you hit 57.28. Now you're 62. 57 still support, 66. Minimum target. Hey, if we were here on these semis, let's say we were in a type 1 and we were above 66 and we registered an HSI, yeah, then I would think we go back down. But the whole tech space, the economy is being held up by semiconductors or a lack thereof. That's what's going on. Until we complete that type 1 reaction, I got to think still up a bit. What's the other one? There was one other one. Applied Materials, which is I think another good one to follow and quite strong. Look at this. You tell me. Another deep crab, which real nice. Target one is at 114. That if this was going to be was going to go lower, especially you had earnings here back in, what was that? The 18th. What's that, today? Yeah, you have earnings today. Hey, we pop on earnings above 114, 115. Market still has to move up. That's why we're at this make or break. All your indices are at that all-time downtrend off of the bear market that started a year ago. Are we going to break out? Depends on what the semis do. Absolutely. And the rest will follow. But we're not there yet, still holding its head. And a non-semi, Amazon, another one where we haven't registered anything. Remember, I was looking at this saying, okay, you blew out the Gartley on the type 2 move. You're still riding that trend line. Yeah, you're arching. You might be slowing up, but not really there yet. And look at HSI. We could get a high level, come down a little bit, maybe $5, but it hasn't come back. This move up was not impulsive, is what I'm saying. Really, what you have going on there is a grind higher. A grind higher. So look, if Amazon's not going to roll over, if Apple still needs time to register a bearish candle, HSI confirmation, then you still need time. I would think I wouldn't even consider it until Monday or next week. I mean, if the rollover to happen next week, not an easy read in here. It's not. It's, it can be very treacherous, seems almost daunting in the face of it, but we're printing patterns. We're printing bullish patterns that are taking their time to get out of the zone. And then the bearish patterns like Amazon getting blown out. And let me wrap up with this one. Tesla. A lot of you know that at 640, when everyone said this thing was going a lot lower, we had we had a bullish pattern. This big bat pattern down here, 691 with the trigger was 640. Somewhere, I got to look at that. 690, but I know 642 was a big one. Under 700, pretty clear. You're in a type 1 now. You hit your target 1 off of that bat pattern. You have registered HSI. You have checked back. You have a bearish candle. All of that comes in at 925, 920. Be aware of Tesla. If Tesla starts breaking down, okay, it would have to. It would have to start breaking down. Run your trend line. Keep it tight. Because if we roll over, and this is next week, a next week situation, okay, then we'd go into a type 2 return back down to basically 691. We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Very close. Tesla is in a better spot than, say, Apple for the bearish setup. But those are the key markets I'd be watching. Interest rates, Apple, semiconductors, Tesla. Next week I'll look at Microsoft and a few others, but I really think we need to watch that. Be aware of that. Someone's asking me if Tesla's a 5.0. No, it's not. It's not a 5.0. It doesn't have the formation. But you have a little small butterfly. More important, you have this bat pattern that's in a type 1 reaction mode. Okay? And you go off the top for Tesla. Like all of these, here's your trend line. You got to break that trend line for Tesla. You broke the accelerated trend line for Tesla. All right? If you came back down and did the retest, I would say that's your massive opportunity. Not there yet, but we're probably, by Monday, we'll know on Tesla. We need to break trend lines. We need to do a couple more things before you go there. Just be aware of that. I think there's good opportunity. Look, Monday I'm going to look at some of these meme stocks. AMC, Bed Bath and Beyond, craziness going on. But the harmonics there are undeniable. Usually that can be late stage type behavior, but it's still okay. It's not. I'm saying don't fall for the full narrative that's going on, because I've never seen so much stuff be so split where you got people that are super bullish and you got people super bearish, but it doesn't seem like much in between. Until then, give it time. Take a couple of days. Come on back on Monday. So thanks, everybody. Great session again. For those that won the book, you know where to go. Go to harmonictrader.com and get over here on our Discord. Also, for those that want to go to Las Vegas, we need to know this weekend. Access the Discord. Contact Miss Stephanie. She'll give you instructions of where to go, who to contact. That's October. I think it's October. We're doing it either September 30th. I think we're doing it Friday night. But we're going to do stuff all weekend too. And we've got 50 or so going. Me and Mitch Ray are going to, myself and Mitch Ray will do a fun party live stream in a conference room, yet to be determined. We're figuring that out immediately now. Probably have a nice fat bar. Will probably be a fat drinking stream. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll probably do a dinner or do some group stuff over the weekend, maybe group gambling. Who knows? We'll take over some casinos. It will be fun. I'm looking forward to it. So those that can make it, hope you can. Be great to see everyone. Come on back Monday, folks. Monday, 12 noon. Hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe for more information and to get notified. And until then, have a great weekend. As always, go get them. We'll see you on Monday.